finally done. Hey guys, welcome back to AP Wargaming and Terrain. We finally finished the board. We don't have to mess with it anymore. Next week will be something completely different, something a lot smaller. So, we learned a lot this week on how to make a board. I've never done it before, so this was a good learning experience. I really love the board, but it turned out a little too realistic for me. I'm not 100% happy with the way it turned out, mainly because it's a little hard to see the details in the tile and everything like that. But it is what it is. It's going to be a great board for us to play some Frostgrave on, and that's really what I was looking for here. So let me show you. You come with me. So this is it. This is the finished product. Like I said, it turned out really nice, but a little too realistic for my taste. I did have some issues with the flocking. It was a pain in the butt to get it to stick to the actual board, and that was, I think, because I put down the green flocking, but you don't know that yet because we haven't gotten that far. So let's just get to it. Let's get this thing finished, guys. So first thing, guys, I started off with some blue painter's tape and just taped around the board. It didn't cause any issues. It didn't tear off any of the styrofoam. It was very simple to use. The reason I did this was because around the hill area, I wanted to be able to pile up the grout and all of our aggregate without it falling off the edge of the board and sloping in an unnatural pattern. So that was the whole reason for this. Now, I just used some regular tile grout. It's very fine powder. Now, we just started sprinkling it on the board. It went on really easy, and it was extremely difficult to get off. I probably spent a couple of hours brushing around this grout, trying to get it into all of the cracks, and also trying to get it back off of the tile once it was on there, which proved to be a massive undertaking. But I like the color. It turned out okay. I was looking for more of a mud color, a little bit darker. So I might have to look into getting a darker grout if I ever do something like this again. Now, in order to create the dirt for the hill, I wanted to make sure that it had some rocks and some stones and stuff in it, and I just used a bunch of stuff that I had on hand. A lot of it is woodland scenic, but some of it is actually just rocks from my backyard. And that tile grout, it saturates everything, and it all blends it together. The colors and everything like that all became the same, so it didn't really matter what color they were. Now, with putting it on over by the hill, I didn't dump it on there. I kind of drizzled it on because I wanted to have some control. I wanted more of the rocky area to be at the base where the tiles were at. And I also knew that I was going to be adding that water feature, so I wanted to make sure that I kind of gave it more of a slope around that to ensure to keep all the epoxy in. Now, in order to seal it all down, I just used some PVA glue, put it in a spray bottle with some water, shook it up, and sprayed everything. Sprayed the tiles, sprayed the hill area, not really paying attention to saturating any area too much. I just wanted to make sure that none of that tile grout came off. Now, this was the part where I did my best and I tried really hard to get that grout off of the actual stone floor tiles that covered most of the board. As you can see, I got most of it off, but not all of it, which did make the board look a little dirty, and it wasn't the look I was going for, and it's unfortunate because once that grout was on there, it just wasn't gonna come back off. So I would probably think of doing it in a different way if I ever did another board in the future. But now when it came to the water effect, I brought the board back inside because I wanted to make sure that nothing got in it. I just mixed a little bit of epoxy together, pushed it around with a coffee stir stick just to get it to where I wanted it. Now, I probably should have added a little bit of blue just to give it that water effect, but I didn't do that, unfortunately. Then once I had it down and where I wanted it and the board was level, I took a lighter and just ran it across to get all the bubbles out, trying to be careful not to burn all the grass that I put in around that water feature. And once our water was dry, after we let that set for about half a day, I just wanted to make sure that it was solid before I started moving this board around. I took some watered down PVA glue and brushed it all over the hill. I did this because I didn't like the dirt color. I wanted it to have a little bit more tones to it. So I took some of my Earth Blend Woodland Scenic flocking and just kind of sprinkled it around, not really paying too much attention to what I was doing, just patchy dead grass kind of coming back to life situation on the board. And once that was all dry, took the board outside and I got some help from my roommate who helped me put all this snow flocking on. This was difficult because I didn't necessarily wait until the glue was dry on the flocking, so that caused an issue. And then I think we may have gone a little bit overboard with the snow, but I like the way it looked, a little like snow swept landscape kind of situation going on with it, which I think it turned out. It looks really good. I did my best to make sure to keep it off of my water feature, and before we sprayed it down, I went and I grabbed a napkin, wetted it with some water, and then tapped it onto the water feature to make sure that none of that PVA glue and stuff got on there, because I knew it would just end up dulling that shine on there. So we avoided that situation. Now, it was a little windy outside, so it was kind of hard to control what we were doing, but it wasn't too bad. Alright guys, so that is it. We spent a ton of time on this board, probably somewhere around 30 hours, maybe more. I'm not really sure. That's a lot of free time that I spent on this. Probably not gonna do a board for a while. Not such great feedback from you guys. I think you enjoy more of the smaller builds, the things that are more easily done by everybody, so to say. So I'll probably stay a little bit away from that for a while, at least until I've gotten a lot better at it. Two things about this board that I didn't really like, and that is the water effect for one. I probably should have added a little bit of blue ink just to make sure that it was actually, it looked like water instead of just clear. So I was a little upset with that, but that's something I can fix off camera very easily by just mixing up a really thin coat of epoxy with some blue ink in it. So that's not such a big deal. The other thing that I didn't like was, like I said before, the realism on it really went from kind of realistic to like super realistic in like a split second. It was, and that was all because of the tile grout. Now I clear coated all of my tiles before I even did the tile grout in an attempt to keep it from staying on the tile. After I put it on there, I brushed it off. I got a wet toothbrush and wet washcloths. I did everything I could to get that tile grout off of there, so that might be something you keep in mind if you ever do anything with tile grout, is it sticks to everything because it's such a fine powder. So that piece, wasn't very happy about that. But all in all, the board turned out really well. I think it's gonna look great with all my terrain on it. We can start doing some Frostgrave battle reports if you guys are interested in that. We'll probably do 1 or 2 of those and see where that takes me. Now, off-topic stuff here, moving a little bit further forward and looking into the future here on the channel, is my buddy Peter has got a website, and I will leave a link in the description below on how to get to that website. It is a German website, but he does have a translator built into it at the very top of the website. Me and him are talking about doing a bit of a collaboration on a build, and I'm not going to go too much into that just yet because I've not really gotten that far into it, so we'll leave that for that video, but it will be coming up here soon, so keep an eye out for that. If you're having troubles with getting notifications for my channel, guys, remember that little bell notification symbol that's next to the subscribe button. That will ensure that you get a notification every time I drop a new video. So, and lastly, one last thing, we're so close to the 200 subscribers, and I'm blown away at the amount of people that actually want to watch the stuff that I do. I figured I'd end up with like 50 subscribers, maybe more, but I think we're setting at about 130 now, and that's just, I don't even really know what to say about it. I didn't think it would happen. So I want to give back to you guys, and something that I want to do is, once I hit that 200 subscribers, I want to do a giveaway with, I was thinking my modular interlocking rune set pieces. I was thinking about doing like a set of 10 of those, with or without snow. It just depends on whoever, you know, wins that drawing, but I'm gonna wait until I hit 200 subscribers. So once we're there, and I'm gonna need your guys' help on this, because I trickle in on subscribers. I gain about 5 to 10 every single week for these videos. But if you guys can help me push into that 200, then we can do that giveaway. And I'm looking forward to it. I think it'll be awesome. It'll be great for the channel. Somebody out there who's needing terrain, who just can't afford to make it themselves, this is a good way to get yourself some terrain for free. And I haven't looked into shipping costs, and I don't really want to because I'm afraid by it, but I'm not gonna restrict it at all. So if you're UK or you're Germany or you're Australia, or you know, wherever you're from, I will ship those to you. But we need to get to the 200 subscribers first. So if you guys can help me out with that, then we can make somebody's day and, you know, feel good about ourselves doing nice things for other people. So anyways, guys, if you liked the video, please hit that like button. If you're new to the channel, hit subscribe, hit that little bell notification so you don't miss anything, and we'll see you this time next week.